It's a Tuesday night. The house is perfectly still. The only sound is the low hum of your laptop or the distant tick of a clock. You're alone in the room, or at least you think you are. But then you feel it, that prickle on the back of your neck. A heavy, silent presence anchored just inches behind your chair. You freeze. You haven't heard a door open or a floorboard creak, but when you slowly turn around, there they are. Two unblinking eyes staring out of the shadows, watching your every breath. In that moment, it feels almost ghostly, a furry shadow that appeared out of nowhere. We usually laugh it off and say, "Oh, you scared me," before going back to our phones. But have you ever stopped to ask why your dog feels the primal, urgent need to haunt your footsteps like a silent investigator? Why do they check in on you when absolutely nothing is happening? The answer isn't just love. It's something much older, much darker, and far more fascinating than a simple wag of the tail. The most common mistake we make is treating our dogs like fuzzy humans. When they appear in the doorway, we project our own logic onto them. We think, "Oh, he's just checking if I'm heading toward the treats," or "She's making sure I haven't forgotten the 5 p.m. walk." We reduce this mysterious behavior to a simple transaction: food, water, or a bathroom break. But here is the flaw in that logic. If your dog was just hungry, they'd be standing by the kitchen. If they needed to go out, they'd be pacing by the door. When they find you in the middle of a quiet afternoon, staring at you while you simply read a book or fold laundry, they aren't looking for a handout. In fact, in those moments, their stomach is the last thing on their mind. What's actually happening is something far more intense. They are investigating a glitch in their reality, a mystery that only you can solve, and it involves a silent, invisible frequency that you aren't even aware you're emitting. To understand why they check on you, we have to look past the walls of your home and into the deep, dangerous history of the wolf. In the wild, there is no such thing as off-duty. For a pack, survival depends on a 360-degree awareness of the horizon. When you are sitting on the couch, lost in a book or staring at a screen, your dog's ancient brain sees something very specific: a pack member who has lowered their guard. In nature, an animal that isn't scanning for predators is an animal that is about to become prey. By walking into the room and making eye contact, your dog is performing a status report. They aren't being clingy, they are doing a sweep of your blind spots. They check you, then the door, then the window. To them, you are the VIP who doesn't realize they're in a high-risk zone. Every time they nudge your leg, they're essentially whispering, "I've got the perimeter. You're safe to keep resting." But your dog isn't just using their eyes to track your movement. They are using their nose to hack into your internal chemistry. While you're focused on your tasks, your dog is performing a biological audit. Science has confirmed that a dog's sense of smell is so precise, it can literally sniff out a spike in cortisol, the primary stress hormone, before you even realize you're overwhelmed. When they trot into the room and stare at you with those deep, searching eyes, they aren't asking for a treat. They are asking, "Is your system crashing?" They can hear your heart rate accelerate from across the hallway. They can sense the microscopic shift in your sweat glands when you get an annoying email or a piece of bad news. To them, you are a walking broadcast of raw data, and they are the satellite dish tuned specifically to your frequency. When they check on you, they are recalibrating their own nervous system based on the signals you're sending out. They aren't just pets, they are your silent biological mirrors. To understand what your dog sees, you have to imagine their world not in colors, but in connections. In 2D animation, imagine the entire house fading into a cold, static gray. The walls, the furniture, the floor, it's all just background noise. But in the center of that gray void, there is you. You aren't just a person. You are a radiant, golden sun emitting a steady pulse of light. This is the secure base effect. When your dog moves to another room, they are stepping away from their only source of light. As the minutes pass, the gray starts to feel heavier. They begin to feel untethered, like an astronaut drifting away from the station. When they come to check on you, they aren't looking for a game of fetch. They are simply moving back into your golden circle to, quote, recharge. That 5-second stare is them soaking up your presence, verifying that their anchor is still holding firm. Once their internal battery hits 100%, the gray world feels safe again, and they can finally turn around and go back to sleep. They don't need you to do anything, they just need to make sure the sun is still shining. Have you ever felt like your dog is literally attached to you by an invisible string? In the world of animal behavior, this is often called the Velcro effect. But it's not about being clingy, it's about a profound psychological synchronization. When your dog checks on you, they are performing what's known as referencing. They are looking at your face to understand how they should feel about the world at that exact moment. If you are calm, their heart rate slows down. If you are focused, they feel they can relax. In their mind, you aren't just a separate being. You are their safe anchor. Imagine a boat in a vast, unpredictable ocean. You are the heavy iron anchor that keeps them from drifting into the dark. Every time they walk into your room just to see you, they are checking the strength of that rope. They are making sure that their world hasn't started to float away. For them, a 10-minute separation isn't just a break, it's a test of their entire reality. As we peel back these layers, the security patrols, the chemical scans, the recharging of batteries, we arrive at a truth that is both beautiful and a little bit overwhelming. Your dog doesn't check on you because they are bored. They check on you because, in the vast, loud, and often confusing map of their life, you are the only fixed point. For a human, home is a physical place, an address with a roof and a mortgage. But for a dog, home isn't a building. Home is a heartbeat. When they follow you from the kitchen to the couch, they aren't just moving through rooms. They are staying within the safe boundaries of their universe. You are their biological regulator, their protector, and their peace. Every time they look up to meet your eyes, they are confirming that their world is still intact. You don't just occupy a space in their life, you are the space in which their entire life happens. Look at your dog right now. If they are lying by your feet, or if you see a nose peeking around the corner of the door, don't just see a pet waiting for a walk. You are looking at a guardian who has just completed their patrol. You are looking at a soul that has found its only version of home in the sound of your breathing. This behavior is the ultimate silent tribute, a living, breathing certificate of 100% trust. But we want to know, how does your dog perform their status report? Is it a cold nose nudge, a silent stare from the shadows, or do they follow you like a tiny, furry bodyguard? Write your story in the comments. We read every single one because your experience helps all of us understand the beautiful, ancient mystery of the bond we share. Don't let their watch go unnoticed.